What is going on today? It's Daniel with Cuervo ATV. Today we have a nice 22 SE all done up with a 6mm stroke, 102 bore, so stock bore. This bike was brand new when it was brought in over from Arizona. 14.5 compression, our CNC plus one head, 50/50 cam, monster exhaust, FCI intake, Power Commander 6, a lockup clutch kit. So we got some really good results out of this bike today, and we're going to go over a couple things, talking about speed sensor, speed limiter stuff as well. So it's got a 6-over swing arm, nano ring chain. Bike came out really good, really nice looking. Armadillo front case saver, got a cam cover on there. What else did we do? Rear coil spring on the shock, and then we did the Hermosi throttle. Good budget went into this, so we were able to take care of a lot of stuff that I like to do along the way. So that's always nice to have a good range to do a build just straight from the start and be done. All right, so let's talk numbers. Follow with me here and see what we got. So this came out at almost 77 and 59 to 60, which was really surprising that it broke the 60 threshold. This is on 110 fuel. So what did we do today? We ran through some timing curve adjustments for this combo. We did end up running a 550 injector in here, even though it wasn't 100% necessary. I had put it on a little bit earlier on, expecting it to maybe use some more fuel, kind of keep it off the edge, but this will run on a stock injector. But I do have this mapping for 550 injector now, and it gives it some room for compensation. So big numbers out of this thing. Normally I see about 58.5 torque, with right about the same horsepower number. But so what do we got on the screen here? Let's see. Okay, so got three different curves here, and what we're looking at is a 4th gear pull in blue. So over here on this right hand side we have a speed. That's what this line is coming up here. And then we have a 5th gear pull in green and in red. Okay. Sorry about the shaky screen. It's kind of what's going on today holding the camera. Okay, so what we're looking at, normally you see a pretty big discrepancy on 4th gear and 5th gear pull. But we're able to get really close pulls on this. I did have to do a burnout on the dyno to make sure that it didn't spin. So we're running right about 85 mile an hour on stock gearing with a 21-inch rear tire in 4th gear, and in 5th gear we're running in the 104 mile an hour at 9100 at the factory red line. So this green line, so the red is with the speed sensor unplugged. Now these 21 and above, 21, 22, 23 bikes, they'll throw the check engine light fairly soon. I can still get a few pulls out of them on the dyno with it unplugged. But I wanted to show you the difference on a built motor in the power difference with the speed sensor plugged in without messing with anything. So in fourth gear, we have full power all the way out, as the blue line shows. This green one, I started this run a little bit later. But full power fourth gear, full power fifth gear with the speed sensor unplugged. It's still in the motor, but unplugged. Once again, it'll throw check engine light and may hinder performance when it does. But temporarily I was able to do pulse. So the green run is fifth gear, speed limiter plugged in, intact. You can see peak numbers wise, it didn't make that much of a difference. Still made peak torque the same. Peak power is down, not quite a horsepower, but it is down a little bit. But what you see here is starting at 7,300 RPM and kind of right about that 82 mile an hour. So you're coming off of fourth gear, you're shifting way up top at 82, and you come down and you hit 82 in fifth gear. And so I'm looking at this mile an hour run here in fifth gear. It's starting to pull power as showed by this green line drop. So at the worst point, it is dropping from 76 to 72. So it's dropping about 4 horsepower off the top. Out here, further out, it makes a bigger difference. We're dropping from 71 to 65 there, close to red line. So yes, that will pull some top end speed off of it. Depends on how you gear the bike, how much that's going to affect you, whether it's worth messing with or not. I don't recommend going 100 mile an hour on your ATV. Don't do that. But that's what they do on the dyno. If you're on a closed track, safety gear and stuff, take it at your own risk. But that is the power that is pulling without making any modifications. Whether that 3-4 horsepower really makes a difference at the end of your pull, that may or may not win your race, but it's a little bit of a deal, but not as big of a deal as some people make it out to be. So short, quick answer on these 21 and aboves is unplug that speed sensor when it comes down to the important spot of doing a eighth mile or quarter mile pass at the track. You can unplug it, get that little bit more top end in there, and have your full power. So there you have it. Be safe out there. Wear your safety gear. I know a lot of guys running around no helmets. You don't know how many people I know that have died from not wearing their helmets. So yeah, you might look cool or whatever you think's going on, but I personally know 3 people that have died that I've spoken to over time, that I personally knew, that have died because of no helmets. And it was both 2 people were within 200 feet of their house. So take that into consideration when you're out there running, is go wear your helmet. But that is it for today. Special thanks to this customer out of Arizona for bringing this up. It was great to work with him and get this done. Long-term planning on that side of it. And off we go to the next one. All right, wait.